Good evening, Matt Wordsworth with ABC News. Cars, homes and streets have been flooded in Townsville as a low pressure system dumped hundreds of millimetres of rain on the region. Emergency crews have been kept busy and the Weather Bureau says the wet weather is not over yet. Our reporter Ria Abraham begins our coverage.
Not even a swiftwater rescue could save this car. A Bushland Beach resident was trying to avoid debris on the road last night when he lost control.
I was seeing the ditch coming and there wasn't much I could do, and I just held on and in I went.
Roads have flooded right across Townsville after some regions collected close to 360 millimetres of rain in 24 hours before 9 a.m. At Yabulu along the Bruce Highway, stranded residents were anxious to get back to their properties. Keith Abrahams left his home to get sandbags, but it was too late.
But neighbour called me and let me know that, my house is underwater.
For him and many others, it's now a waiting game to learn the cost of damage.
So I'm only 25. I've got 3 kids and a mortgage and a house and everything in that place.
Authorities say there were 2 swiftwater rescues overnight, but many more ignored warnings about driving in floodwaters.
That is a complete exercise in stupidity. That when you know that there's a major weather system coming, you know the roads are going to be flooded.
Some pets have been lucky to escape. Our news crew picked this little guy up along the Bruce Highway near Nome.
We've got a kennel we can put him in until we can find his owners.
Townsville SES has attended about 80 jobs in the past 48 hours. Here in the city's West End, crews remain on standby, restocking supplies as they prepare to head back out. A long night ahead for some.
Stuck here really in the truck until the water goes down.
But for a city that's been under level 3 water restrictions, Townsville's dam is an emotional sight.
I bring the dogs up and have a bit of a beer as I walk around walking the dogs and just shed a bit of a tear.
Ross River dam levels have surged to about 70%. Ria Abraham, ABC News, Townsville.
And Ria is live beside the Bowley River near Townsville. Ria, what are the latest warnings for the region?
Matt, there is still a major flood warning in place for residents at Mount Bowley this evening, with the river expected to rise. Warnings are also in place for residents at Guru, south of Townsville, as the Horton River is expected to rise yet again after peaking earlier today at 3 metres. Now, a number of roads will remain closed, and SES crews will remain on standby to provide assistance where needed. There are positive signs, however, that the worst flood conditions could be over for Townsville, with the Townsville City Council deciding to close an evacuation centre at Bluewater today.
All right, Ria Abraham, thank you. And Jenny Woodward is here. Jenny, the severe weather looks like it's moving west.
Yes, Matt, the warning's been cancelled in the Herbert and Lower Burdekin area, which includes Townsville, but we'll still see lingering and showers and storms about there. But further inland, people in the Hewenden, Richmond, Julia Creek, Marathon, Pentland, McKinley, Iffley, Gregory Springs and Cloney's Creek should prepare for the wild weather. We've got heavy falls and damaging winds expected. The totals won't be as big as the coastal numbers, but it will be very significant for the region. We could see more than 90 millimetres in an hour, with 24-hour totals up to 150 millimetres likely, and there'll be isolated falls of up to 300 millimetres possible. Now, the track of the system is uncertain over the weekend, but the modelling suggests it will track south-southeast towards Winton and Longreach. That's all for now, and I'll be back again later.
All right, 90 mil an hour, that's a lot of rain. Dashcam footage has been released showing the terrifying moment a man lost control of his car as it hits floodwaters near Bundaberg. The driver has told of his ordeal, saying it all happened before he had time to think.
Actually get in there. A drive along a Fraser Coast road suddenly turns from mundane to manic. Whoa! The driver tries to explain to his friend on his Bluetooth phone call what's just happened.
My car is just gone, dude. I'm in a river.
His ute no match for the floodwaters, sweeping him off the bitumen and towards trees.
The initial shock was only when it started to float down the river, and then very quickly just sort of started telling myself, don't panic.
Adrian Hastwell-Batten, the man behind the wheel, says he didn't even have enough time to consider if it's flooded, forget it. And he says that's while driving 20 kilometres below the speed limit when disaster struck.
Driving along a country road, a little undulating country road, and next thing I knew there was a big river in front of me.
He spent an hour and a half on the roof of the Hilux until rescuers pulled him to safety. While he's had some backlash from the public online, he claims there's nothing else he could have done.
It was a dry road, it was clear vision, but that combination of factors that I couldn't see the river.
Earlier this week, the Emergency Services Minister threatened to fine those who drive into floodwaters.
Stupidity is reigning here with some people, and what I'm pleading with everybody is just take another couple of minutes, have a bit of think about what you're doing.
But this dashcam footage shows it's not always easy to spot. And just days ago, this mother's car was swallowed by floodwaters that suddenly surged around her car at Bellbird Park near Ipswich.
So then I told the kids to get out. Put one on one hip and one on the other, and we just kept walking.
Adrian Hastwell-Batten still can't believe what happened to him.
Just went into survival mode. Just don't panic, stay calm and do what you got to do.
A warning to others to be prepared for anything that could be around the next corner. Josh Bavis, ABC News.